today my plan is to go for Chrysalia or Giratina depending on numbers. I'm hoping this little bit of a new image will help bring some more shiny luck. Let me know what you think of the new overlay. I can still go back. I'm umming and ahhing about it. Like, the problem I have is the Switch is an awkward shape. If I make the screen bigger, I have to put stuff on the screen, and I don't personally like stuff on the screen. So that's kind of where we are with it. Like, we'll work with what we've got, but we'll start off with a solo run on Cresselia. Hello Connor, welcome in. How are you doing? Did you want to join a Cresselia run? The other thing I was just going to mention is, actually, I'll just show you what I mean. Just go away. I don't want to do this. I saw that you tried to put a couple of redemptions in for the Dex 365. There's two things about it. It's we've only got to redeem each Pokemon once, so the whole Garchomp line had already been done. So that meant that's why it got deleted. The other thing you've got to try and do is you've got this picture, perfect. You need to also put in this picture so you can see the date when it was caught. That's kind of how they work it. So it looks like we've all caught it in like the last 24 hours. They do allow the day before, but it depends on the competition. So at the moment it's fine. If that Garchomp hadn't been put in and you wanted to correct the added picture, that would have been fine. But because it had already been claimed already, you don't need to claim everything that's already on there. The idea is that we get one of every shiny in each generational order. This month was going to be chaos anyway, if we're being honest, because everybody in there loves Legends Arceus. The last month, Hoenn did take a little bit longer because there was people were on breaks for certain reasons and personal reasons, and a lot of them were like air catching, and nobody really wanted to do it. So I'm hoping now this one's rolling. The rest of it, we'll see everyone just coming along nicely. So hopefully you get a chance to get some of them. Again, if you do join in with these and you get the shiny Cresselia, you can enter Cresselia. So that's a good one to put in there. Hello Dragon, welcome in. How are you today? Of course. I have changed my overlay a little bit, so if you think it's a bit too much, let me know. I decided I wanted to put the legendaries on. I'd been talking to Boy from Belgium about how to do alerts, and I decided to play a bit more with the actual overlays itself on Stream Element. And I've come up with this. The legendary and shiny bit is the bit that'll be always changing. I'm trying to think of something I like for other challenges I'm going to do. So I could make the shinies rotate as well. But I'm just stalling before the ads. But any luck on the shinies for yourself? I'm just going to set up the Cresselia one. If anybody wants to join, they can. It'll be our normal code. It is my first one of the day, to be honest. So it is up. If you want to join Cresselia, I'll probably let the clock run right down and see what happens. I have only got one shiny today, but not from DAs. I did for that challenge, because the fossils annoyed us a lot last time. I've been basically hunting for Shieldon, so I got my Bastiodon, which was nice. But as we say, we're going to carry on doing like what we did yesterday. If we get 4, and ironically here, we may do Giratina or Cresselia. We can always do an Azelf as well. They're like our 3 sort of ones we're going to target on stream. But I think it's just you 3 for now, so we can just go for this. We know it's Cresselia, so we know our usual routine: bug, dark, ghost. Don't need to do too much more. So we can start this one. And if anyone else comes in between hand, we can let them join the next one. As I said, I'm just going to let these quick little ad run. I thought there would be one quite early. So I won't start it until we finish the ads, because it's a pain, really, for communication. But I didn't do many DAs after Boyfriend. I didn't do any, actually, after Boyfriend Belgium stream. I sort of stopped for the evening, went to do some stuff in Legends Arceus, and then started playing around with the overlays and alerts and stuff. So yeah, I got very distracted yesterday evening. At one stage I was going to have the shiny totals as like a bright yellow, but it kind of depends on the game. I think it's going to be the way I'm going to have to look at it. We can do both, let's be honest. We know what we're doing, right? We're not amateur streamers. Right, so I think we are about back, so we can look to start. So as we say, we want dark, ghost, or bug. So I think we'll just start with that. It's not the best team, really, is it? Wow, we're getting worse. Fable's not terrible, but it's mainly for Follow Me's quite fun. But yeah, we didn't get a good team here, did we? Swoobat can be quite fun with Simple Beam. We just point that bit out. Even the run looks pretty tame, to be honest. Not in our favour. So the Indeedee on the right does have Shadow Ball. So I think we're probably going to have to go that way. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go right. And we will look to take this Indeedee. So was that on the Azelf that you struggled with? That's the thing with some of these. We always seem to get a bit torn on what's the best way to do them. Like, I find some of us go all guns a-blazing for the more let's just get the type bonus, and then you forget what you need to do on the run, so you carelessly lose some lives en route. So then when you're at the legendary, you've got 2 lives, and there's still a weakness in there. Elsewhere, we could be someone who just flies through, and so it's sort of a bit of both. That's why I like these. You can always sort of think a little bit outside the box and try something that you wouldn't normally consider. So like Clefairy with Follow Me is really good when you're doing the dragon runs. Even if you know you've got the moves that should be good, it takes nearly everything that it gets thrown at it. Now part of me thinks that Connor should take the Indeedee, because as we say, it's got Shadow Ball. But it could be either of you, to be honest. If you think it's best for you to take it, let me know. I'm happy for either of you to take it. I don't think it's worth leaving it for the computer to take. I don't think we'll get very far with that. I do think the next thing we're going to face is a ground or water type. So they're all like, again, this is one where I think the run to Cresselia is going to be harder than the Cresselia fight. I'm trying to think of little strats like we used yesterday, where we had the Snarl, and like we saw a bit more with some of the defense dropping moves that were very helpful. That's where we love to be, in those positions where we can really try something. But we'll get there. We know we will. As I was mentioning, I changed the lineup a little bit. And as you can see, we've got all our shinies on display. So if I get more, it's going to be a bit more of a squeeze to get it in, but that's another day's problem. I can never remember Clefairy's moveset, but the thing is, this isn't great whatever way round we go. This is what I mean by we need to think of the best. See, Claydol's got Levitate, so we can get away with Claydol against the ground type. So I would get rid of the Swoobert because it's weaker. Clefable can just take a hit. And can just use Follow Me to distract. You can go for like Shadow Ball here. You've got enough to get through the Marowak. We want the Marowak because it's got Screech and it's got a Dark move too. So it's a pretty good one to have. So Clefable can swap out here. Would be okay. That seems like my best solution on this. The thing is with Clefable, it's just bulky. It's lovely. Like, the Marowak can't really do too much to it, so if you want, just spam a bit of Follow Me. At least you'll take the hits for all of us. Let's just hit it. Yeah, we'll swap this one out for Clefable. Marowak for Clefable next. As we said, it's got Throat Chop, so it's going to be very helpful. Just remember, don't use the ground move at all, because it won't hit. But I think that we can work with this team. It's doable. Like, we're not weak to anything that Cresselia has, but we're not really resistant either. So that's a slight problem, but we can get through it. We always do, right? We still have all our lives. And yeah, another round of the same moves, we'll be fine. That's going to hurt, but we'll get through that one. We want to keep it just for the Shadow Ball because of the defense drop that it can get. So that's obviously a very helpful addition to the team. So that's a good thing to keep with us. But elsewhere, as we said, we've done a bit more of the Dex 365 where I got the shield on and I made it a Bastiodon, and I also got myself a Frostlass last night, for the first time I've ever had a Frostlass. That's one life gone. Okay, not a problem really. At least we're going to be at a stronger health situation next go. Yeah. Well, it's not the worst thing that can happen, right? We'll knock this out on the next round. I blame the computer for using Hyper Beam. If I'm honest, it should have just used Psychic, because it would have got 2 rounds in instead of 1. But I'm hoping we can get a good win streak again going. As we sort of said, sometimes these are easy, sometimes they are hard. And as we said, Clefable will take this, and then it's got a dark move for the final, which is always helpful. I don't think Screech is going to be much help because we're all special, so we don't need to spam Screech at all. But we'll just keep going, right? We've got plenty of time. And again, if we get to 4 people, we may do Giratina. If we stick with the 3, I'll probably keep this as we are. Just do Cresselia, maybe an Azelf. It's not the worst. And the other thing we've got to remember is I do have Struggle Bug, so I can weaken its special attack if it's not my Dynamax turn. So that's a big plus too. We get berries. Okay, we don't really need the berries because we're full health. Right, so we've got ice here. What have we got? Cryogonal, Beartick, or Wigglytuff? Cryogonal is Frau, I guess. And we'll go. Yeah, we'll go Cryogonal. I know Marowak is weak, but it does have a Steel move. It's also got the Steel move for the Fairy, so that's a plus. It was a difficult pick, that one, because it's a horrible thing. Make sure you don't do any buffs. Try and weaken any of its stats because it's got competitive. So if you weaken anything, its special attack will go up and it will wipe us. So just remember that. So we just have to keep things simple. Like, I'll just have to go for Side Beam. Yes, but we weren't guaranteed to go for Wigglytuff. It was sort of a bit of a coin flip between the rest. It's more if we do the Dynamaxing, we've just got to be careful we do the ones that change the terrains only. We don't want to do one that weakens a certain part of it. It will still make the defense go down, but it will hit extremely hard. We nearly wiped to one before. See, if it had had one buff, that probably would have KO'd you. So there's that, just to be overly cautious with on this one. Now, you are Indeedee, so I am actually going to Dynamax with the pure reasoning that Indeedee can Dynamax in the final for the Ghost move. That's going to be a big help for Max Phantasm. This only does terrain stuff, so it's not a problem. So we should be okay. Again, if Indeedee does get knocked out, it's not the worst thing. At least you'll be max for the final. And I think we're pretty good defensively and for the final as well. As I said, I'll probably spam Struggle Bug. And see, if I could have used that on Cresselia, we would have had it on the ground, but it doesn't make any difference. Go for Indeedee. Let's get our lives back. No, Marowak, lovely. Okay, well, you've got the berries, haven't you, between you both, so that should help. See, this is a perfect example of something you think shouldn't be too difficult to beat, but it has something that can cause all sorts of trouble. There's a few Pokemon like that. It was always going to be a hard pick because Cryogonal was going to be difficult for us. Like, I don't think Beartick was ever going to be considered because it hits too hard. But fine, we'll let the computer take this if it wants it. Hopefully it does, because it's better than Claydol. It's not much better, but it will do, especially it will get the buffs. And remember, you've both got berries coming, so at least you'll be up to at least half health, which is going to be helpful. And if I get hit, Struggle Bug's going to do more, so that's a good thing. If we didn't have the berries, I may have got one of you to swap, but I think we can cope with half health, 3 lives against Cresselia. It's not going to be the worst thing we do. We've done a lot worse in the past. But for the numbers, we have already done 226 for this month. We have 3 legendary shinies, which we can see rotating through with Guzzlord, Moltres and Heatran. So we'll just, hopefully we can start today with another brand new shine. Right, as we said, Struggle Bug, because I'll weaken its special attack with this move, I believe. But we'll see. we are not at the best of the best, but we should win. So let's just keep going. I'm not sure how the followers work when here, because on my dashboard it says it's 116, but on Stream Elements it says 114. So I'm not sure where it is. Lower, yes, that's the thing we wanted. Computer putting it to sleep, I think. Okay, not the worst. Yeah, how I'm confusing it. Okay. And Throat Chop's just going to whittle away at it, so I'm pretty sure this is all we can really do, if we're honest. But it'll do. We'll get through this one quite easy. I can't see it hitting us too hard. See, that's a Moonblast, its strongest move. Cresselia is a Pokemon I really do like using though. It's just one I don't think is very strong to use offensively. It's mainly because it's bulky as they come. So it's just a slow grind to beat it. What is Wigglytuff? Okay. So I think we'll get this in 2 more turns. We should be okay. I need to see whether I go before Cresselia. Okay, there goes its stats back, which is fine. We knew it was going to happen eventually. That's good because Marowak's better as a normal defense. Yeah, it's one that people use a lot to set stuff up with, isn't it? If people did more competitive. I don't do any competitive, but that's kind of why it's designed the way it is. We can see it may be one more round, depending on what Wigglytuff wants to do. And remember, you're going to get smalled again, so with your do Shadow Ball, you might get lucky and get a defense drop. We'll see. Let's have a look to see whether luck is on our side. Who's he going for? Me? Okay, he's going for you. I think you survived that. I can't say for sure. Oh, he gets 2 hits, that's a bit unfair, but not really going to be a problem across the board. We just get on with it. And I think the Throat Chop should finish it off. There we go, GG, and good luck with those shinies. Let's see if we can start with a brand new shiny. That'll be a very good way to start the stream for today. Let's just try something quickly. I'm paranoid I spelt legendaries wrong. Okay, pretty sure that's not a shiny indeedy. That is not an orange Marowak. Nope, and nope. No duck. I was meant to take the Marowak, wasn't I? I keep saying I'm trying to replace my Go Pokemon in my living decks. And I keep forgetting to do it properly. What do you have? You have Giratina. I don't need to take Giratina because ironically has it. So if he is here, we'll do that. But we'll go back round, do another Cresselia. Unless Connor got a shiny, then he might not want to join in this one. Okay, it is up and ready for people to join. Let's get another... Well, that was probably one of the most unconventional teams to use, I would say. It seems like it just sort of worked. Like, we targeted certain types, we didn't get any of them. We had a bug type whose bug move was pretty weak, and that was it really. So yeah, exactly. That's why it can work out as long as you just work as the team. Like, I even think the computer would have figured that one out as well. I would like to think they would have. Not quite sure. I think it's just going to be the three of us again on this run, so we'll be okay. It's difficult because I would like to do a bit of as elf as well, but Cresselia is just something I really want shiny, if I'm honest. I've mentioned before, the only two we don't want to touch is Heatran and Uxie, because they've already been claimed. But all the other legendaries in this gen are up for grabs, so there is a chance to do a few of them, shall we say. Yeah, that's what we mean. Like, that's where it gets to a stage where you kind of have to learn what the other Pokemon can do, and that aren't the type advantage. So, like, Malamar is the perfect one to start with here, really, isn't it? Dialga is going to be a fun one to do. I would say you really want 4 people for Dialga. If I'm honest, it's very frustrating. It's so bulky. It's not as hard as Palkia, but it's bulky and horrible to deal with. So I've already seen a Frostlass, which will be nice. What is that water type? And then we've got a Krokorok at the end, so I think that's pretty much guaranteed that we're going right. I'm not quite sure what we're going for second. I'm still trying to figure out what that water type was. But if we get 4, we can run a Dialga. I don't have a problem with that. Dialga's more ground fighting that you need. There are 2 main things you want. So that's what we've sort of learned over the years. I will just go straight in. Is Anfire strong against it? I wasn't sure if that was more neutral because of the dragon. I thought dragon was not very effective on dragon fire moves, but we can also do fire then if it is. Yeah, I know it's part still. I thought dragon resisted fire. That was all. So that would have made it, if it did resist fire, it makes it neutral. For the sake of this run, I would potentially say for Crustle to take the Frostlass. No, actually, Halucha take the Frostlass for now. And we'll just go for the... No, actually... Who got hit then? Did Halucha get hit? Basically, we really want to keep swapping to stop the computer swapping. That's no way of looking at it. But we would like the Frostlass. So, there's a lot. Resists from dragon, although vulnerable to fairy attacks due to dragon typing. Okay. So yeah, Halucha can take this, or if you want to swap Crustle, you can, but Crustle might be quite good as well. Because we want to really keep the Flygon. So my theory would be just go for something easy to beat, but I think that's a Gastrodon, which is not going to be easy to beat. But you've got a fighting move, so you should be fine against Tauros, and I believe it if it has Intimidate, I get a buff as well at the beginning. Gastrodon, if it wasn't Gastrodon, I would have gone Gastrodon, but my electric move is useless. So, what does this do? Super effective. That'll be fine for me. If this has I believe this has a dark move, I would swap Hawlucha for the Tauros, because Lash Out is a lot stronger than what you've got, and it takes away your fairy weakness. So that will be a good thing to lose. And then with this team, we might just look for something easy to beat in the final round. But we're going to go for the dark type anyway. So we've got the ice moves. This is going to be good against... so hopefully the ice one can Dynamax against the dark type. That's the fairy. What does this do? Okay. I'll just use this because it does more damage. But if you do want to have a go at Dialga with the three of us, we can have a go. I do know someone else in the trainer lounge is doing Dialga resets in BDSP, but we all know how long that takes. So we can do one round of Dialga maybe, see how it goes. What's the worst that can happen, right? That's the way to look at most of these runs. We're going to guarantee at least 2 catches. Okay, so this thing can get strong. That's not good. Okay, well at least it went straight for you after you got the hit in. And what does that weaken? Special, okay. That's not good. Good start. Not a good start. But hopefully the max Knuckle will increase all our attacks, and that will help us in the next round. Yeah, so we've still got 2 hits, I believe. And both us and Flygon have got the big buff. So let's see, yeah, we'll get it over half. And we do the same again, and hopefully we get lucky and get a speed boost from the cheer. That would be very nice, to say the least. But again, we can't pick what we get. But it would be kind of nice if we did get that. Oh great. It helps you two at least. Actually, it wouldn't have helped for the speed boost, would it? Oof. Tauros hits very hard. I'm hoping that your +1 and the plus you'll give Flygon will end this. But I think Frostlass might be faster. Okay, well, we snuck through that one. Yeah, so we'll probably get the Hawlucha to take the Tauros, because Lash Out is very good. And if you do get hit, you can see the anger point's very good too. See, the thing we could actually do is we might be able to do a weak physical move to the Tauros to boost anger point ourselves. I know that's thinking more and more away from where we want to be, but I'll take it just for the assurance. It's still good. Because as we said, anger point is great. The only thing we've got to remember is I don't get the buffs from anything. So hopefully we can Dynamax straight into ice and do big damage here. Part of me is tempted to take this myself. Yeah, it is a good thing to have. It's difficult with the items because some are so helpful, the others are just rubbish, and that's what we find. Like, especially like the terrain ones. Like sometimes they can come in absolutely clutch when you least expect it, but other times they're useless to us. But I'm pretty bad here. I'm not gonna lie. Hello, boy from Belgium. Welcome in. how are you doing? After talking to you a bit about overlays, I decided to actually play with that overlay style that I showed you in that video and made my new one today. We're currently on Cresselia. Okay, we are in the ads again. Welcome to the ad channel, where we will discuss all of the best upcoming releases from the world of gaming, and probably movies, because I keep seeing Thunderbolts, and I don't know what's going on in that movie, because I don't know who any of the characters are. Let's see, who did that go after? Flygon. To be honest, the computer could take this if it wants it. So we'll see. We're pretty good against this offensively. We've already weakened its defense, haven't we? I can't do any damage to it. That's the problem. We'll see. As I said, all I can do is this really hope for a correct move. Welcome back. Yeah, like when I started to learn what to do for overlays alerts, I was pretty much just watching the chap I sent you his video and two others. They all do slightly different techniques. But I've actually completely revamped everything that I had set up already. I had got Stream Elements into OBS, but now I'm doing it directly through the Stream Elements website. And then you just put the browser link in, like the video will explain. So I've redone all the alerts. I've redone the whole background to have all my shinies in. I can change it whenever I want. So the computer can take this, that's good. We've got 2 Anger Point Pokemon. But a lot of it is trial and error. It depends on what you want to put on, as I was saying, because if you want to do some of the stuff that I have, for example, or do you want it to be a full screen with stuff on the full screen? That's the bit that's a bit more technical, like how you prefer it. Like, I personally prefer it like this. I don't like my camera on the game, purely because how I play. I don't have the setup to have the game playing there, for example, on one screen, and then have the OBS full screen somewhere else. I haven't got that set up. If you have the other setup, you can put your game on the normal screen you would, and it wouldn't be as bad because you can just play the game on your normal screen. Yeah, that website that I sent you for the sprites is the best. It's got, as you can see, my legendaries aren't animated because I didn't get the animated ones of them. The old school legendary or normal shinies are. I can swap between the two, but that website pretty much has both, and you can just save them like individually. So it's really good for resources. I use the home ones personally for the normal static ones, but when it's generational order, it can get very frustrating because DLCs are sometimes not on there, which is a bit annoying. But it's all about what you want information wise on the screen. Like, as you can tell, I've changed this up pretty much. I've still got the same core background, I've still got the shiny totals and legendaries, but instead of changing all of that in OBS, I'll be changing it on Stream Elements now. I don't know if it's a good or bad idea. I'll find out. But because I tend to change my challenges a lot, I could make a Pokemon one, and I could make a Mario Kart one. The counter is frustrating to set up, I will say that. I keep doing it and then changing it, and then the scripting was a bit annoying. I have not looked at Stream Elements version of it. So I'm not the best person to ask for that. That's all I can really say. There are people who have done it a lot more, so I would ask them how they do their counters. GG and good luck. Because I don't know if you ever saw when I was trying to do the Wishmaw one, I was trying to just do that ping ping ping. We do have one open spot. Was it Connor that had Dialga? Did you keep the Dialga or did you want to do the Dialga? That's the two that we've sort of got. But as always, you're welcome to join in. And it all depends if Connor took it or not. I'm not sure if they did. I got a Frostlash yesterday in Legends Arceus. And Cresselia is not shiny, okay. And we can do a Dialga. That's not a problem. It's one we all would like. Just make sure I save this. If you set up to be the host and let us know when you're ready. It is easier if you use the same code that we've been using. So everyone kind of knows that code by now, and just don't put it in until Connor says it's ready in the chat. And we're not 100% sure, but it's mainly ground, fighting and fire, or is fire neutral? Boy from Belgium. I know you must have fought enough Dialgas in your time. We were a bit unsure whether it was neutral or super effective. The way my luck's going, I have actually only done one Dialga this month. So we want fighting and ground moves, really. So we're like, well, that wasn't 100%. I know it's a horrible thing to face, like one or even with two, it's not one of the easiest ones to go for. Okay, so everybody who would like in, we are ready to go. Yeah, we don't really want to take it. Does it have a spread move, just out of interest? Or is it just all single hit moves? I know that Palkia has the horrible ones, but that was very quick. We got in there very fast. Bit surprised with that speed. But I think the best thing, going back to the overlays, is just take your time, watch some of the videos, because they go through it at a pace where you can literally do it yourself. I have to do it that way. That's where I am, how bad I am at them. Well, at least we've got a Doug trio. Okay. I guess I'll go in DD for now. Not really a great team, is it, to pick from? I'm pretty much going for the ghost move, don't worry on Indeedee. I think we'll be swapping a lot on here. Yeah, so as I said, like everything I do, I've just taken my time to learn and watch what others do and work from there. I think I see a stun tank in the top right, so I think that's a good idea. And there's that Selgor as well, so I think we go right. And take this, and then we want the left on the right, because the Excelgor has Drill Run, and then after the, not the Excel, is it? This is bad, yeah, this thing, we don't want this, not a problem. We want the next two. Poison can't hit it, that's true. Never mind then. I keep forgetting Steel can't be hit by poison. Maybe we won't win this run. But we can still take the bug because it's got a ground move. Remember? Drill Run, you keep telling me Drill Run. It's not the worst. There's still two more things up there that might have something we can use. But I went this way for the steel type next because it has dragon. It has drill rum. That's pretty much why I went this way. Oh good. I'm going to make this strong for us. Can we land it? No, we can't. Okay. Whose go is it now? Does it always lower? May also. I've got to just stick to the fire move and hope it doesn't do more. At least we can try this again if it goes really wrong. But then, seeing the fact it's got ancient power, I don't think we want to take the Talon Flame at the top. But I think the steel type's going to be very helpful next, if I'm honest. It would, but I don't think the computer quite works like that sometimes, sadly. Just don't do anything, just hit it. Oh. Don't you want to go for the drill run? Because then at least... I understand that you want to get the weather ball up. But won't the steel bug be relatively not weak to Dialga? If I'm reading that moveset correctly. That's the other thing I'm looking at sometimes. But we'll see. As we say, it's just going to be a bit of trial and error because Dialga's probably one of the most difficult to get a good team for because it resists so much. That's the problem with it. It's a very resistant heavy Pokemon. Yeah, so nobody needs to take this. I guess it's up to you with... okay. We got 2 weather balls, which isn't terrible. It's not the end of the world, though. We got a weather ball whatever happens. And as we take the steel one's going to be the replacement for Lurantis or for Altaria. Which one do you think should take this? If you're slower than me, boy from Belgium, use Weather Ball. Because I'm going to Dynamax into Flare. So we should knock this out between us in 2 goes. But I do think somebody should take this. So would you take this then? If you think the 3 of us should stick? Yeah, but you have Weather Ball as well, so this is a great battle for you. Really. But we just go for whatever we're strongest against at the end. We don't play around as such. I'm also looking at the fact that I might look at doing some Shadow Balls on it as well to try and lower its defense. But I guess we want to not get hit as hard. I guess that's probably more important. Because then we get... That's a move that we have. That hits, and your weather ball. No, weather ball, I told you, weather ball. Oh. I thought we could have got this in one. But that's what we got it in two instead. Unless you do see something absolutely perfect at the end. But as we said, I think it's Stun Tank Talonflame, and I definitely don't want to take the Talonflame into the final. If it's got a rock move. The strange thing is, does Stun Tank have any non-poison moves that could be helpful? There's some dark moves, I guess. Could lower some of the stats. Let's see what we get. Or we've got electric. Do we want to just go electric? And is that Stun Tank? We might as well. At least we get the items, as you say. It would only be Stun Tank if Stun Tank had something else that isn't poison that could be helpful. We're just hoping that Dugtrio can do a lot of damage here. Nobody's much help. Not status, so I'm just going to have to take this. No, sadly not. I had lumberries and I had citrus berries. It's one of them. It's just bad luck on our behalf. It happens. Sometimes you get the good ones, sometimes you get the bad ones. Now, I'd better start using something else for a while. Yes, it does. I do want to get to a stage where I can stop them before they can even get to that stage, but I think I'm a bit too far ahead. I try to keep it pretty close, so when you're doing the communication, you can make sure that you are still understanding each other's instructions. If I could put a 5 or 10 second longer delay, we'll miss decisions. There goes Dugtrio. You can leave yourself a little bit further behind when you're doing the stream, and even if it's a couple of seconds. And you can do something where it will go straight into the moderation to decide. A bit like when your wording for defensive moves comes up, it comes up as a moderation decision. So I could just press no and you can't, it'll say your message wasn't sent, but only you would see that other than me. But when it comes to that, I just need to learn a couple of words I can put in auto mod, so it'll be my decision whether it goes through. But there's certain words you don't want to put in there, because if I do views, then when I'm talking to like boy from Belgium about something streaming wise and he puts something about views, I have to then say yes, it's okay for him to write it. So there's a few little bits I've got to learn on that side, but I only get one a stream usually, and that's it. So this thing's very strong, not gonna lie. I did not think it would be this strong. Never mind, I guess. And that fast. It shouldn't have any special attack now, surely. Hopefully I can give you a speed boost. Yeah, I can. When you want to pick mods, it's very difficult early on. But then, just say for example, I I make Boy from Belgium a mod, he's still going to be playing the game same as I am, so it's hard to make him play the game and watch chat while I'm doing this, while I'm trying to pretend to do one or the other. Like, we're both going to be doing the same thing. So it's something I'll look into eventually, but I'm taking modding decisions slowly at the moment. Like, I've had someone else who wanted to do it in the past, but you end up giving them a lot more power when they're a mod as well, so you don't always want everyone to be able to do anything to the channel. So you just take your time with it. Like, I'm not busy enough to worry too much about mods needed at the moment, if I'm honest. So I just sort of leave it for now. If we get too much bigger, which is a long road, let's be honest, I'll worry about it then. Yeah, the only thing that's slightly negative to having follower only is that when you get raided, if the people that raid you want to chat, they can't unless they follow you straight away. Even the raider might not be able to chat until they follow, so it can stop people who just want to see what you're about before following. That's why I personally don't want to do follower only. But everyone has their own ways they like it. Yeah, we have better team than it looks, I think is going to be the best way to put this. As you said, mystical fire. We just weaken it down. Good. We weaken its special attack. Flash cannon on that, that's fine. You're taking that all day. And a big drill run. Okay, that's healthy damage, if we're honest. If you are, the Dog Trio can Dynamax and use ground moves, yeah, it's not going to be a problem. Might weaken its defense, doesn't it, ground move? But I always say the same thing for what I'm doing is I'm just building. What happens this year is just building. Yeah, I'm not going to put too much in the back. Like, at the end of the day, I only really started doing this in December. So if I get to... The fact that I've got 100 people who follow me already is crazy from what I think of it. And if I get to 200 by the end of May, yes, thank you. Like, the way as I say, I treat it is a bit of a recording for... I record everything as if I'm making a video. Hello, Shadow. How are you doing? Welcome to the DA area. And Boy from Belgium is still giving us some shiny luck, I think, today. It is time we get another shiny. We didn't get one yesterday. We seem to be getting a shiny legendary every other day with him around. The one thing I would say with the streaming side of this is it's very easy to do on the Switch. That's the way I would look at it. Like, just to get up, put it all together and get going. That side of it's not too bad. Once you've done a couple, you'll get used to it and you'll start enjoying it more. Thank you. This is the first attempt at Dialga. We may go back to Cresselia after this because it's been a lot harder than I wanted it to be. Didn't really get much to pick from on the routes, to be honest. You can do that as well. It's not like for everyone. Like, just be careful to not discuss where the games come from. That's technically against TOS. But the term is Google is your friend, if anyone ever asks you. Good luck, everybody, and GG. From my own experience, it depends what you play to how busy you end up being when you stream. So, when we were doing Legends Arceus, it was just before the Enamorous thing came out, so there wasn't too many people on it, and then the Enamorous thing came out, and suddenly it got a bit busier. But just get used to studying a few different people and how they do things. Don't just copy someone, but do something that you like, that they might do take some ideas from everyone. So, no shiny Dialga. I think we'll go for Cresselia again, because that was a lot harder than I wanted it to be. I don't want to save Dialga. Right, let's go back, as we say, back to Cresselia. That's the way to do it. Focus on what you like. As long as you're enjoying it, people will come and watch. The more you try to do something that is for other people only and not for you to enjoy, you will find it not very enjoyable at all. The code is up and ready for people to join. I'm still trying to find somewhere I want to put in Mario Kart 8. And also a Dragon Quest game. I'm tempted to try and do them somewhere, but I don't know where to put them. It's very frustrating. I've never played, outside of 5 minutes of the demo, I never played Dragon Warrior Monsters Dark Prince, and that's all I did. So I bought it when it was on offer, so I thought I'd give it a go, and haven't loaded it up yet. And I also got myself Dragon Quest 3 2D HD remake, which I have not put in the console yet. So I also want to do that at some point. But I will be a proper noob on both of them. And when it comes to those sort of games, I find the commentary harder to do. So the games I can play on my own, but it's difficult to be the one talking while playing them. On my side of things. So that's kind of where I still haven't got them in. Like Mario Kart might be fun, especially if we're going to go for Switch 2. To play on the Switch or to play on another console or through Steam. And Connor, are you joining or not? See, I don't do too many retro, but I may go and do some of the GameCube games once the Switch 2 has the ones I want to play out. We can back out and relaunch it, not a problem. Let's redo the code. I'm going to do it again, no worries. We'll do it again. Like, we know that you can sometimes have some problems with, like, we've all done it, so don't worry. We'll put it up again. I played the very first Bioshock, but I never finished it. Um, and I played the very original 4-disc special Final Fantasy VII, and never got past disc 2, which was quite funny. So the code is back up, but I think you might be in ads again. In Adland. So hopefully we can get this shiny Cresselia and move on to the next legendary type. I've got my redeem for the day, which was my Bastiodon. So while I can go out my way and get others, I might as well just stick with the ones I've got for now. It makes the most sense. Let's just have a quick look at something. Before we'll just let the ads finish before we start this run, just so we have full communication. What okay. Yeah, so it'll be best to have the full communication when we pick the team, so that's why I'm going to wait until everybody is here, and then once we're all here we will continue our journey. Yeah. So I believe we are back now. Let's go. Alright, I was just waiting for all the ads to end before we started. Well, I think we know what we're starting with. Nothing's too great to start with, to be honest. It does look interesting. I just don't know who any of the characters are in the Thunderbolts movie. So we got to think what we're going to be good against on the path now. I would probably take Whimsicott for Play Rough, but this is only going for a dark type. But that's what I mean. It should be good. It's just I've got to the stage where I don't like Marvel for going into all of the sort of sub ones. So you have to have watched the television show to understand what's happening in the movies. I think they should have kept the movie universe separate from the television one. Like, ever since Endgame, I don't know why Scarlet Witch was so angry at the end in Doctor Strange. I don't know why Captain America 2 became Captain America. Like how that jump happened. And there's just a couple that sort of stick out that completely lost me, really. What does this do? Okay. I can't do anything to this thing, so... We can probably get the Whimsicott to take this, if we're honest. In fairness, we probably need to swap at least 2 of this team. Yeah, being the Whimsicott. No, actually, I think the Machoke should take this, because I think we can just go and beat a ground type easily with the Whimsicott. Because again, we don't really need to swap too much, and we'll have 2 strengths against it, so that'll be helpful. And we got... Yeah, so we've got like a good team to deal with everything that we're going to face. Did you see what the ghost type was? Was it Jellicent? Out of interest. Because if it's Jellicent, then again Whimsicott would be nice to keep around to the end. I couldn't work it out, to be honest. So don't worry. I'm just as bad. So theoretically, I think the weakest of your three should probably go first. I would probably get rid of the Machoke. No, actually, I'll get rid of Jinx first, to be honest. That what would you think, boy from Belgium? Which one would you swap out first? So at least Machoke has a dark move for the ghosts. And you are Jinx, I'm guessing. Because you're also weak, aren't you, to the ghost move, so that makes sense. And this does have Burning Jealousy, which is nice. We've got 2 Snarlers, which is big. So we can really make Cresselia's attack do nothing early on. Oh no, it's Sandycast. Yeah, so Whimsicott will be okay here. And we'll just spam the dark moves. Is this a special attacker? Just out of interest. We could have actually gone for that Sand Slash for Leech Life, couldn't we? No, I don't want to swap. But we might as well just spam the dark moves. Yeah, so as long as me and you both go Snarl, we should weaken it attack pretty quickly. And plus the Max Darkness weakens its special attack as well. I always forget them. I've done these enough, but I still forget what all the max moves do. Let's see. We said Snarl all the way. Weaken its special attacks. Whimsicott, I believe, has a nice big grass move, so that will help. And the Max Darkness is going to help as well. So, considering this is one of the more troublesome Pokemon to deal with, it's not too bad, to be honest. Oh, it was your Dynamax. Oh yeah, because I didn't Dynamax first round, did I? I forgot I didn't Dynamax because I had nothing for the first swing. I remember I had terrible moves for Evil. Hello Morlan, welcome in. We're on the Cresselia roll today. How are you doing? We've got a nice little team going, I think, for this run, especially for Cresselia. Annoyingly that it keeps healing. If you are up for DAs, we can bring in our rotation system a little bit. But we've only done, this is only our 4th one. Yeah, we can start the rotation system of it, as we said. That's part of what we are going to have to do if we keep getting bigger, which is good in a way. So it would probably be either Dragon and Connor sit this next one out, and then the one after the other one sit one out for us. And so everyone... Okay, no worries, thank you. And so you sit one out, then we'll bring you back, and Dragon will sit one out, and then Boy from Belgium, and so on. So everyone gets a rotation in and out. Hopefully you'll be nearly ready, or are you just going to wait till we're ready? We're more than likely going to stick to Cresselia for now, unless I think one of us gets it shiny will change things. I can't say for sure, like, as we said, Whimsicott will probably change here. Because at least it's got the ghost move on the ghost. Okay. I probably still want to keep the Feeble if we're honest. But we'll see what's next. We got another ghost. Or we got ghost and berries. So which one would we rather take? Whimsicott or Machokin? My thinking here is Whimsicott has energy ball, so it could also lower its special defense for us. So that can still work in our favour. So it's not really a problem. Yes. So we'll swap Machoke for Dusclops. And if you get a chance for an Eviolite, take the Eviolite, please. So it'll be very helpful for you. That is primary item for Dragon. Hello Ratchet, welcome in. How are you doing today? We are back on the Cresselia roll. Are you going to want to jump in some DAs? We beat one Dialga and we've beaten 2 Cresselias so far. And this is probably our best team for Cresselia so far. Which is also very strange to say. Now, I'm going to take a bit of a gamble that Dusclops is going to be able to Dynamax in the final, because then me and Boy from Belgium can just snarl, which I think is going to be more important, if we're honest. Because we'll both snarl, will weaken its special attack. The Dusclops will go for the Ghost move, Max Phantasm, and Whimsicott will just use Energy Ball. Okay, we'll have to do a bit of rotation then today, if that's okay. So it'll be sort of like people will be in one and then they'll have to sit one out, and because we have 5 people who would like to join today. So if you don't mind, Dragon, if you take a break on the next one, so we'll bring Ratchet and Moorland in, and then the one after, if Connor's still here and Dragon's still here, we'll bring them back in for one as well, so everyone can sort of get a few in. It might be like 2 teams, rotate slightly. It's hard to keep up with only having 3 spots on each one. But we'll work through it. Like, that's the key thing with all of this. You've just got to get through and understand that not everyone can join all of them, but there could be some going on in the background as well. But we'll do the next one then. If you and Connor, as Connor's already said, he's going to step out. You step out the next one. Then we'll bring Moorland and Ratchet in. That'll be our team of 4 with Boy from Belgium, because he's only done 2, I think. Well, he missed the first one. Yeah, so we really, really want you to have Eviolite here for the Machoke. And if Borland and Ratchet are happy to do Cresselia, let me know if there's a problem with that one. I think we should be good. Well, that's a lot to read. Decrease opponent stats, fighting increase outs. Okay. So is the dragon move better? That's the question. Now, is the ghost move better? Or the bug move? First turn. That's the better question. As we said, if Dusclops can Dynamax, we and you can both snarl, Boy from Belgium that is, and Whimsicott could get a defense drop. It's one of the creepy ghost ones, isn't it? Nice. Yeah, so, because I'm doing this Dex 365, now Connor's involved, ironically, and I believe Boy from Belgium's gonna maybe get involved. We're sort of all going for the Gen 4 Pokemon. The legendaries. Hopefully the Ghost. Because then, as we said, me and you are going to Snarl. Weaken its special attack. Because as long as we take its out. What about the bug move? Does that do... What's the flutter one? Yeah, that's why I was trying to ask you which is better. Bug or ghost. It's still going to hurt it. If the bug one... Check what the bug one does on the next one. See what that lowers on it. As we said, we're just spamming this, so we're going to get this thing really weak. If you can do Energy Ball, you might get lucky and get a defense drop. So we can just make it really weak so it can't hit us, can't we, if we want to. Were you thinking a max darkness move would have been better? Is that what you're trying to say? But at the end of the day, like, this thing is very, very weak. That does Dusclops as a special attacker, as we would do more damage each turn. We know it's a defensive tank. But at least it can't hit us anymore. That's the key factor. We knew it was always going to be a whittling down job. So what you're saying is we would want to do the max darkness in the final next time. That's the best thing to use on Cresselia. Okay, so we'll focus on making sure we get the dark type move ready to use in the final next time. But again, we're going to get through this one without too much trouble. Like, it can't really hurt us at the moment. I don't know what it's meant to be. All I've got is stars. It doesn't even say it's a link. The only thing I can think of is maybe a slight spelling is something technically offensive, but I don't know. Usually it gives me a mod chance to look at what it could be, but it literally has just starred it straight out. So on my end, because if you did try to put a link, I would get put in the mod decision on whether to allow it or not. Yeah, that's probably why. It's not a problem. At least it didn't try to auto-ban you or something like I've had with someone else before. But usually I thought the links would show up on my end, that you were trying to do it. So, just going to do this to hit it a bit harder. But it doesn't matter, it's not caused any problems. I do think that we're currently in line for a perfect run, aren't we? No, we've just lost the first thing. I think that's only one life lost. So that's not too bad, and that's two. But we're dark type, so we'll do the damage. It's just a very, very bulky thing, which is why we like to take on the bulky ones. I don't even think we're going to win. Boom. There we go. GG everyone. Good luck with the shinies. If we do get the Cresselia on my end, we may go to Azelf or something a bit simple as well. Because I don't have anything else saved up. And that I want to go for now. Enjoy the coffee. Now I had a day off shiny legendaries yesterday, so it's back to being my turn. I get one every other day, according to you with my luck. So it's my turn today. But I will just take any shiny. But not today. My computer doesn't want to give me one. And remember to save, remember to save. Hello again. You literally just said goodbye to me, but we're going to come and see your Cresselia. Connor and Dragon are going to sit this one out. So Moorland and Ratchet, if you're ready, we're just put the code in. It will be the same as yesterday and the day before. And it is up and ready for people to join. So like after this one it gets a bit more complicated trying to rotate it around, but we can work around things, can't we? It's always going to be a bit more complicated when there's 5, because when there's 4 you can sort of just bump 1 out each time, but you've got to move 2 out each time if you're going to bring everyone back. But we'll see. We know we can usually get through these pretty easily, and everybody's quite happy to take a break between each one. So, and they're pretty easy to beat, so we'll just go through it, and if Dragon and Connor are back, Boy from Belgium will have to sit 1 out. And you're mostly going to do the genies probably in the background, I would imagine. So if anybody does want to do some of the genies, Boy from Belgium will do 1 in the background. So we could do, 2 rounds of Cresselia could be fun as well. The Linoon's not terrible, I guess. At least it's got Shadow Claw and Pin Missile. But as we said, we want to try and get the dark move done in the final. That was the key factor that we didn't do last time. Right, what do we have? Nothing overly interesting. I'm guessing right because that Marowak has Throat Chop. That's what I'm thinking. No, so if that's the case, like Boy from Belgium and Moorland could do Cresselia in the background of 1, and then Connor and Dragon can come back in with Ratchet and do Cresselia on here. And I'm not sure if I think Dragon has Cresselia saved as well, so then like the one after Dragon could take Ratchet to do 1, for example, and then the other 3 can come back into this one. So we've always got 6 people on Cresselia. isn't too bad. Let's do this. Well, I was just looking for something purely ghost, no dark move, and I know the Marowak has that max rope chop, which is what you kind of wanted in the last round, and apart from me, I don't think anyone else has a dark move yet. We've got ghost moves, but not dark moves. If we're going to take the Marowak, who should take the Marowak? And whoever is going to take the Marowak, I think should take the Blossom. That's my thinking here. So would you go with Nidoqueen or Linoon? The only reason I say take the Blossom is you'll have the grass move over the Marowak, which will be very helpful. That's my thinking. I think it seems like a good idea, but I might be wrong. It is up to you guys, I think. And you're the Linoon. And then, as we said, you take the Blossom and then take the Marowak. Because the goal is either yourself or me go for the Max Darkness move in the final. Pretty much. Doesn't matter if it's you, really. We only need the decrease on the defense. So anyone is good enough for that. I imagine we're going to keep the Gorgeist. For now, it's fine. Giga Drain, okay. And maybe the Nidoqueen swaps at the end. Welcome back, Dragon. What we're going to do on the next run is Moorland, and we're from Belgium. We're going to do a Cresselia in the background. So you and Connor can come back into this one. And for example, if you have Cresselia, say, like the one after, then you would host with one other person off the stream, and the other three can come back. Or we'll have like that. So we've got two people who can host Cresselia in the background, or other things if they really want to. As we said, nice rotation, so everyone gets a go and nobody gets left out and feels like they're just watching other people. I don't want to get into a situation where I go, first one's in can join. It's not going to be fair, and I don't want to do that. Okay, if you're okay too, I don't know if Connor will want back in as well. If Connor wants back in, we may have to just have Boy from Belgium take a break in one. And then, as we said, we've got, so Moorland could stay in for the next one. We will go Moorland, Ratchet, Connor, and then afterwards Moorland would then probably host one with someone else, joining the Cresselia one. It's hard to keep up with all this. But as I said, if you're somebody who comes in looking to join people for Dynamaxes, you would feel a bit disheartened if you didn't get a chance to join it, because they were like, I've got my strict free, I'm not letting anyone join. And I don't always agree with this being first come, first served. I just like to make sure everybody gets a chance to at least do some Dynamaxes in a team if they want to. Hence why some will go on in the background. But I'm just hoping everybody else thinks that's fair. I think we're just going into an ad break. Okay, so I think Connor might have gone for a while. So we may just do the next run with the same team, and then once someone will sit out so Dragon can come back in. But I'm hoping we can get somebody a shiny today, because I got a Claydol yesterday, but I think I was the only one that got a shiny on the stream that we did, which is a bit frustrating. It would have been great if we could have all got one. Nice easy W, that one. So as we said, yeah, I at the moment I'm just about okay with the order in my head. The other side of it that's a bit complicated is if somebody said they want to be in an X and then they leave, so then you're always going to be sort of swapping it out. The weird situation is if we had exactly 6 people, yeah, you take this for the Blossom. The weirder situation for all of this is if we had 6, you could just do 1 round of 3, next round of 3. And hopefully we can get everybody can then, you'd almost have 2 groups and then the other one can do one in the background. So what do we have? I'm guessing we would go rock. Yeah, because that Seismitoad is rubbish. And that's Gerda, yeah. So which one of you two is taking this? Either Ratchet or Boy from Belgium? That's how I think it should be. Guess Bright Powder. Okay, that's not a problem. We can swap the Nido Queen out. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. But as I said, sometimes you'll have someone come in for just a couple, like half an hour or such, and if they can't get in, they'll go to someone else. So if I put them on the list, there's going to be a space, and I've got to then decide who's going to do the next one. The other thing I can do is just make tally marks on how many people, how many everyone has done, and whoever has the least can be the one that keeps getting in. But then it's also a bit unfair if somebody's been here for like the whole session and they miss, they get pushed out for someone who's come in like with less than an hour to go and wants to do free. Yeah, but I don't want to be sat looking at the list of who's here. That's not fair on people as well, because it means I'm kind of spying on who's watching. I don't like looking at the list unless I know, like for example, if I'm talking to you and I don't hear from you, I'll go, is Dragon still here? I can look. But I'm not going to go through the viewers, because some people just want to watch, and if they just want to watch, that's their decision. I don't mind. That's the other side of it from where I am. Like, I'm going to have to start thinking of a couple of little solutions, but everybody is getting a fair share, and as you said, you were going to probably sit one more out and then we'll bring you back in. If Connor comes back, he'll come back in, and Boy from Belgium and Moorland will probably do some Cresselia in the background or something else, because they've got all the paths set up ready. So that's very helpful that we've got more than one path. But as I said, if you had like the dream situation of 6, you could almost do a 3 and then the next 3 and then the next, bring the first 3 back. Yeah, that's what I try to do. And then I could do it where you do 2 in a row and then someone else you'll be put at the bottom of the list for the people who are still here. But it is getting used to it. Like, we're still learning how to do DAs with a larger group. You go back last week and like when you didn't have the DAs unlocked, it was quite often just me and Boy from Belgium for a while, and like Moorland would come in a little bit later, and sometimes it would just be 3 of us. And then suddenly we're at the stage where we've got 5 or 6. So it's great that we're growing and that we're getting to the stage where more than like 2 or 3 people want to join. That's fantastic. It shows that we've been putting in the work and we're getting somewhere. But until it sort of gets to the stage where people are arguing about it, that's when I have to be really strict with it. That's why I have that Discord thing set up. So if someone is getting rude or angry, I just won't invite them into the DAs. They can watch, they can do whatever they want, but they won't be taking part. We've missed the Dynamaxes, annoyingly. So we won't get a max dark move for a while. And that's what I mean, like, where I say, like, if someone takes 1 out, you can do 1 in the background, or as we said with Boy from Belgium here, you 2 can do 1 together, so then you're both getting some DA, so it's not 2 of you waiting to get put back in, but when we should all finish at the same time, give or take. Hello, ironically, how are you doing? Yeah, well, again, we're rotating it round nicely, so what we might end up doing is running this team 1 more time and then use the next team. No worries. I don't think anybody's got a shiny yet. We're just discussing how we do our rotations, so everybody gets a fair share against this. Against the legendaries on stream, we can run some in the background. So at the moment, I'm going to run the same team this go, and then next go, if you're interested, ironically, and Dragon, and if Connor comes back, we'll run that team of 4, and we can do a Giratina, or we can do another Cresselia. It's still going on for about an hour or so, yeah. But it's weird getting to the stage where I haven't just got 1 team, I've got like 6 people who are quite happy to join in, so I'm trying to mix it up a bit. So everyone can have a few on stream and off stream. Because I think if we do the Giratina, we want the 4-person team. So off the rest of the team here, who are currently playing, who would like to do a Giratina? Out of Moorland, Boy from Belgium and Ratchet. Because if only one would like to do Giratina, we could do 1 Giratina on stream and then one of the Cresselias could be done off stream. And then we can come back at the end and do another Cresselia. I just need 2 switches really, don't I? So I can host 2 different rooms. Maybe when we get the Switch 2 we could try and figure out if that is possible in my little head. Okay. Well, if we say Moorland host a Cresselia offline and okay, what we'll do is, as everybody wants to join one, I'll set my Cresselia up with my normal code. The first 3 people join, and then Moorland will set one up with another code, and the rest will join Moorland, and we'll see who can win first. That seems like a good idea. So everybody will be doing Cresselia. So there'll be 6 of us, 7 maybe, and it will be first come on mine, and the rest will go into Moorlands, and everybody can get a go at Cresselia in a team. It's not one you really need to put too much discussion in, is it really? If we're honest, it's pretty easy to win. But good luck with the shinies. Welcome back, Connor. Let's just check. No. So what we're going to do, I don't know if you just heard that last bit, because we've pretty much got 2 lobbies worth of people now, I'm going to put the Cresselia code on. The first people to join or join mine, and the other 3, Moorland's going to host another Cresselia where he'll put the code in the chat, so we'll both be running Cresselia back to back, and my team after the first one will go to Moorland, and Moorland's team will come to mine afterwards. Well, if I set mine up first, that gives me that minute head start, and so ironically it'll probably end up on Moorland's team first. It's not a problem, as we say, like, we're going to swap the teams in the background. So all of us are going to be doing a Cresselia between about 7 of us. Maybe 8? I've lost track of who's here. Oh no, you put your code. Did you click to do Cresselia, Dragon? Because if you're hosting, it's whatever you picked. Yes or no, Dragon? Okay. If he's hosting Cresselia, because he's got Cresselia on his list as well, so it's not a problem. We'll find out, I guess. It's not the worst if it's random. But you picked Cresselia as what you wanted, didn't you? Before we say yes. Yeah, because you've got it on your shortlists. That's the other thing. Like, as I say, we'll wait for 4, and then the other 3 or 4, will then join Moorland, and then after that, Ratchet and Dragon will join Moorlands, and Boy from Belgium, and which one can't you find, Moorland or my one? Too many people want to do Cresselia. Has anyone joined yours, Moorland? And I guess you'll take ironically into yours as well. So you'll have the 4 and I'll have the 3 this time. It's not a problem though, as we said. Dragon and Ratchet will join Moorland on the next one, and Boy from Belgium Connor and ironically will join me on the next one. And that just gives everybody a chance. As we say, it's hard to keep up. Yeah, we might as well head off like on our adventure. What do we have here? Oh, Kangaskhan's going to be lovely. Really terrible. I'm just taking a support one. There's not really much good to pick from, to be honest. We'll be swapping on route. Just don't take the Mr. Mime, I think, is pretty much all I'll say. Either one is gonna... We'll have something we can beat. Golurk, please take Golurk. Computer. There's 2 darks on the left, so we'll go that way. So what do we have? We have Electabuzz. Yeah, that's a good one, and that's a good one too, I think. That is dark, yes. We don't have any great moves here, but I think we'll be good. Yeah, I think we'll stick to the left. Well, you can jump in this one next time on the stream one. Because as we said, we're going to run 2 teams next to each other pretty much. I don't really even want to use follow me on this, do I? And then, yeah, I think that's fair. Everyone's going to get a go. We'll do probably 2 more after this. I don't think I have a fairy move, so I may be the one that ends up swapping here. I forgot whether I have a fairy. I do have a fairy move, actually. So this might be worth taking for one of us. I'm not sure which one. Either me or Ratchet, anyway. I think that's going to be best for us. Yeah, I'd probably say if Ratchet takes this, or the Grimmsnarl, then takes the Grimmsnarl, and then we've got 2 fairies for the last dark type. That's going to be our best bet, I think. And I'm only saying to take this because it's going to not be weak to the fairy, to the dark moves, which Slowbro can be. It's not a overall great Pokemon for this run. It's a good Pokemon for other stuff. But this run it's a bit frustrating, but we had terrible choices at the start, if we're honest. It's just I can hit at least. If I can hit, that's big. It's a big plus for us. That's a nice easy W on the first round. Because we're doing much more targeted runs, I'm having a lot more room in my notes for these. Before we were trying to do as many different ones as possible, but now we're much more targeted on 2 or 3, and yeah. But yeah, I think we're doing okay. So even if you did use Helping Hand on me when I used the fairy move, that's going to be pretty big for this next battle. The computer will probably gamble though, knowing the computer. But we'll see whether we get the luck on our side. it's one of those that can. A lot of the normal types have such good coverage in these. You've got like the dream sort of scenario there. That's not the worst if Munchlax. Oh, well, it's not too bad actually. Kingler. Because the Sucker Punch, especially if it's max darkness, you'll be very helpful. But I think we're all going to be physical by the end of this, knowing us. Because I can Dynamax straight into the fairy move here. Which is going to be quite helpful, I think. And I can also do a little bit of healing in the next one if need be. Because Grimmsnarl, I'm pretty sure, has a fairy move and a dark move, but I think one of that might be wrong. At least you can't get hit by the psychic moves. That's the key factor. So there's that. That's going to be in our favour. Yes, but when you Dynamax, it'll just become max darkness. That's kind of the hope, that we can get you to max darkness level. So in the next battle, for example, hopefully the Grimmsnarl can Dynamax. Against the other dark type, and then it means it'll get back round to you. So just don't use Dig in the first. Well, you wouldn't want to use Dig anyway against Cresselia because it's got Levitate. But that'll be the dream situation, that it will get back round to you. I don't think it's got pressure, so you could probably do one, but I would try my luck with a Body Slam for a Paralyze. You never know, you might roll the dice and get the good chance. Might work in your favour. And again, if we get paralysed, we can work a bit more. Oh, so don't do stab though. You can just go for a Sucker Punch if you want. I don't think it has a setup move. But Dig's useless, Slam's got no accuracy. And I can't remember what your other move is. Okay, so it does have Body Slam then. Yeah, so as I said, I would just Body Slam against it. And that should be enough to just do a bit of chip. And you saved your Sucker Punch and Max Darkness for the final. And hopefully you can get 3 big Max Darknesses off. And we can weaken its defense. Even though, yeah, because it weakens its... yeah, anyway. So, yeah, so Electabuzz can swap into Grimmsnarl and Dynamax in the next battle. Yes, you'll take this, and as I said, try to Dynamax for the fairy move, just to stall it out a bit. Because then we've got 2 Dynamax, so you don't have a fairy move. Still take it. And you can Dynamax and probably use the dark move for now. It's still going to be helpful. It's more helpful in the final than the next battle. So, and we get items, so that's good. I think this is actually Obstagoon, so actually do punching move. Yeah, do Max Knuckle. You'll be quad effective on this, so that'll be very nice. Let's see, what do we get here? I don't want to keep this, so I don't want the Eviolite. This is special moves. It's gonna do. This sounds silly, but this will work, I think. So I think it'll try and do a max Mindstorm on somebody. Because I'm going to take this one. I thought it was something different when I first saw it. I didn't realise it was Obstagoon. Because Obstagoon, as we know, is normal and dark, so that's 4 times weak to fighting. So that is a very good run. Boy from Belgium, how's your run going? Or Moorland is the host. And I can just play rough for now. So I think ours is going pretty well. I think we'll be right. We may take a hit from this, but I don't think it's that strong. Because the fun fact is, this Lioneer and Obstagoon is literally walls Bucephalon, which is brilliant to know. Superpower? Wow. That was a crit. Okay. We're going to get another big knockout. Okay, and if I hit my play rough, it's big. Not enough. And we lowered its attack. Lovely. Do you know what? I'm just going to do this. So if it does attack, it's going to hit the thing that's not going to be in the team in the last round. Okay, that's going to hurt more than I thought it would. But I'll survive. And as we said, I took the hit and I'm being replaced, so that's good. It was a big, powerful crab. It's going to be surprising to see what that does in the final. Because Superpower is not a good move, normally. But that's... I think we got 4 lives then. I think that's right. So that's good. We're doing well. And we'll do the same sort of thing here. We'll just we'll, as we said, go Body Slam on the Kangaskhan. And we can start using our dark moves. I might even do a Screech, to be honest. Yeah, I might go Screech first turn. But you can just start with the Dark Pulses, it's not a problem. We should be in a good chance. And the thing is, both of our Dark types are weak, but not as weak as they probably could be if they were pure Dark. Because I don't want to do the first Lash Out. I think I'm faster. I need to find out if I'm faster or slower, because Lash Out will do more if we get hit first. So I might as well weaken it a little bit before we go for it. I would go for Body Slam first turn. See if you can get a lucky Paralyze, and then just do Max Darknesses when you Dynamax. And once you're out of Dynamax, then do Sucker Punch your last couple. And that's actually much better than I thought I would be slow. Okay, Wide Guard coming in clutch. It seems it still works out both ways. If we get the Paralyze, it'll be even better. So now, as we say, just do your Max Darkness now, and you'll be fine. I'm going to just go for hits now. I've done 1 double weak to its special hits. If Kingler does attack, it'll be very helpful. But I don't think it's got too much. It's got like Crab Hammer. And then between us, the three of us, we've all got dark moves that'll do a lot of damage. I think you're just falling into the ads again. I should have delayed that one. That still does big damage. That's okay. Another wide guard. Why does it know it's doing Icy Wind? Kingler coming in clutch here. And Bigot. Lovely. Can we sweep Cresselia on our own? With no lives lost. And that's going to help Grimmsnarl. That's worked out nicely too. So I think we should finish it off this round, I would like to think. Okay, it's nerfed its stats, so maybe one more round. That's what I was expecting, so that's going to boost my special defense. That's why I took the Psychic Seeds. That has worked out in my favour. And Kingler took it as well. Wow, the computer's thinking ahead as well. And you took 2 psychic moves without much problem. Another big max darkness. Moorland Boy from Belgium team, how far have you got on your run? Okay, do we have one more move? Yes, Dark Box, surely. GG. And good luck with the shine. Wow, ironically got the shiny Spirit. Congratulations. That'll be a good one to cash in Dex 365 as your first ever cash in Spiritu. And that's a Sword and Shield one, right? Not like the Legends Arceus, easier one. Nice smooth run again. Yeah, so how is the other Moorlands team doing in their run? Let's see if we got a shiny then. No. Nope. I would like this shiny. This would be better. Nothing for me. Okay, that's not too bad. So as we said, we'll swap the teams round. So Boy from Belgium, Connor, and ironically can jump in my one. Moorland will host one for Dragon and Ratchet. Yeah, we had the perfect run. We're such a nice team. We had the fairies to take on the dark types, and the dark types. Well, we had a fighting type for one of the dark types too. But as long as Ratchet and Dragon are happy, they'll be on Moorland's team. So if you wait for him to put the code in the chat, you can jump in that end. And then Boy from Belgium, Connor, and ironically, if he's finished running around the street singing about his shiny Spiritomb, can come and join us. And then, yeah, we'll do this one and one more where we'll put the teams back round again. You got a yellow rabbit. Don't even know which one, what Diggersby. I'm guessing that's the only rabbit I can think of. Okay, so that's for Connor and Ratchet, that code in the chat. I believe it'll just be 3-person team on your end this time. I think it was 3 last time actually. Good job we didn't let Ironically join, wasn't it? So we could get him that shiny. Okay, so I will set this one up for Connor and Boy from Belgium. And it is up ready for you with our normal code. And as we said, ironically, if you are joining, you can let us know. If you're still going to be catching Spiritomb, that's not a problem. We know it can take a while with the legendaries and the harder to catch things that you have to spawn endlessly, that you need to just pace yourself through it, not make any silly mistakes as such. Okay, so I think Moorland's team is ready to go. Thank you for the follow, Shiny Combi, and welcome into the Dynamax Adventures. Hopefully you will enjoy your time here. If you do want to do DAs, let us know. There's always going to be space. Congratulations though. Yeah, Boy from Belgium, you join mine this time. And then the next one, Ratchet and Dragon will come back to mine and you two will go back to Moorlands. Or we might just do a first in on mine and the rest go on Moorlands because it'll just be the last one, probably the next one. Nice to meet you two. Hopefully, as I say, you'll enjoy your time here. We tend to do a few different challenges in the Pokemon games. We have done Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet in the past, but now we want to hunt for shiny legendaries. So, okay, then you four do that run then, because you've got Dragon and Ratchet as well, and I guess me and Connor can run this one, and unless Shiny Combi wants to join, it is open. There is a spot left. Oh, we've got 2 spots left. Wait, somebody's not in. Who's not then? Yeah. I thought Ratchet and Dragon were in Moorland already. How has he got 5 people? But I guess we'll just do a 2-person run. Oh no, you've jumped into this one then. I'm only going to probably do 1 more today, but I will be back tomorrow for more. I tend to do the equivalent of 12 till 3-ish GMT. But as we say, these are always going to be open. The one thing that's always a bit more difficult now is we have more people, but as you've had, if you've been here a bit, we're trying to rotate them so everybody can have some on stream and some off stream. So it just gives everyone a chance, really. So as I said, it would be nice if everybody gets a chance, and when you're ready, there should be a spot open. We didn't get a good team for this one, did we? And more if yours has started, just let me know, and we know that we're sort of racing to the end. Right, do we have anything usable here? Not great. I'm guessing we want to go to the ghost, but it's nothing great, to be honest. I don't even think the first battle was easy to pick, to be honest. It's a terrible looking selection here, to be honest with you. Who do you think's going to swap around here? I think we'll probably keep the Porygon because it's got foul play. Now, that will be helpful. What do you think, boy from Belgium? I don't really fancy having a Ditto in the final of this one either. I would imagine we're going ground after this, so I think both of us could probably just stick this one out for another round. But I will need to swap because I've got no moves whatsoever. I've literally got Scald and Focus Blast. Quagsire really got screwed over with moves in this game. But let's see. We'll go see how well this goes. Light screen, okay. Ditto is being relatively helpful. Problem is the Jigglypuff's pretty useless as well. But we'll see. We plod along through these, don't we, and hope that we get some good set of moves. It's not going to be easy whichever moves we use. We just got to bank on the fact that it's pretty frail. And work from there. The thing I can't believe is that Starmie doesn't have a water move. That's the thing that confuses me most. It's one of the best for coverage, but just for the basic moves it's got nothing of what you would expect it to have. What have we got? We got a Starry Tinkaton. Interesting. So, as we said, we're doing a lot of Gen 4 ones. Like, we did do a little run on a Dialga. We will probably do some Giratinas next couple of days, maybe some Azelf. I may do some Cresselia offline as well, see if I can get some luck on that. It's about time I had some shiny luck on legendaries. I haven't had any for 2 days. Right, boy from Belgium. Ever since I got my Heatran. And you said you were going live today at some point, didn't you, boy from Belgium? Do we take this for fake tears? Part of me wants to be honest, but I can't. It's still pretty weak. Ditto wants it, so Ditto might do well. Yeah, so we go ground. I know this isn't very strong either, but it's all we can really do at the moment. And now boy from Belgium's even catching the Starry Pokemon. But it's not a shiny at least, so we don't mind. As long as they get all the shiny luck today. He's got one. He's winning the shinies for the day. I'm glad we got somebody a shiny. But also I will probably do more work on my overlay. There's still little bits I want to tweak a bit more. It's more that because we discussed it a bit, I started playing around, so I need to make the switch a little bit smaller. I kind of think one of us, but I guess it would make the most sense if you did, to get rid of your ghost weakness. That's probably all I could think. I'm not completely sure. and then in a weird way I think I'm probably going to have to take the ghost. As in, why did you come to mine instead of Moorlands when you said the lobby switched? Or because the idea is mainly to, if we can run two at once, to rotate who's on stream and who's off stream battling, basically. Because it's not fair if I have just 3 people and there's 3 people that want to play and they're just in the background doing theirs. It's so that everyone can work on stream and some have to work off stream, but rotating it means everybody gets some time on stream. So I ironically didn't get in either, again. But I don't know if he was back ready because he was busy catching Spiritomb. I don't know for sure if he didn't make it in. But did you use the 2-4 code, or did you use my code? Because if I ironically did jump in that one, that would have made 4. Because Ratchet and Dragon went in that one, so there would have only been 1 spot for you. So if ironically is with those 2, that's 4. That's why you couldn't get in there. As I said, the idea is to rotate it, so the next one we do, Ratchet and Dragon, and ironically will be on the stream one, and then you would go back into Moorland with Connor for the next one. Just so, as I said, I want to make sure everybody can have some on stream and some off stream. And now that we've got 6 people, just under 6. Well, we got 6 people. If we had 7, we could do 2 full teams. This is where, if we ever got to the stage where me and you were ever happy to do a shared stream, because I still don't know if I want to do share stream, because I don't really know how it works completely. We could be the hosts of 2, and then we could rotate our teams either way. Yeah, we got 7 in total, yeah. So we can have 2 teams going at once, but the idea is that we would have to have 1 team on stream and 1 team off stream. And I don't want to be the person that goes, I'm taking these 1, 2, 3, and they're the people that are on stream only today. That isn't fair. So that's why I want to try and do it so we rotate everyone. So if we both start at the same time, we finish at the same time. And then team, like, we could call this team A and team B's off stream, and then the B team comes back into the A team spot. And that's kind of what we want to do, if we can. But then we also know some people drop in and out during the day. They're not going to be here for the full 3 hours always. That's sort of why we're getting at with why we rotate it around. And it's where it gets difficult as the person hosting, because you've seen it a couple of times when you've had more than 4, so you know some people have to do some in the background. And the people in the background are quite happy to do some in the background, but they would like to do some on stream as well. And if you turn around and tell everyone they cannot join yours, why would they stay to watch? That's the other side of it, especially. Like, the idea is to have it open for as many people to join as possible. If I could run 2, like if I get the Switch 2, and I could run a sword and a shield one, I could run 2 on stream. Because I would have both consoles available. I'm going to Dynamax to make sure that we get the max darkness in the final. So I hope that explains it to you. But as I also said, if we ever did get to the stage where we would be happily doing like a shared stream, we could both host and then people can join both our lobbies. but then it would be quite difficult because we are still hosting and telling people what to do, but we would be also talking to each other, and we're not on the same DA runs, so it can get very complicated. That's why it might not be brilliant to do it either. I did say during the last run that was what we were going to do. We were going to swap it round. Because we had that thing where we said that they'll go on do that one and that team will come into this one. That's kind of what we said we would do during it. And that explains it. That's why, I mean, it's quite difficult to do this hosting side of it when you've got two sides going on at once. Because, as I said, that's why when we start, we sort of make that point that we'll do one on stream and one off stream. And I don't want it to be me starting one and say, who wants to join? And the 3 people I've just done one say yes before the 3 people on the other side. And then they'll be like, oh, I don't know if I want to stay and watch this because I'm not going to get in any other DAs. It's not fair. That's how I read it as my side of it. I want to make it as fair for everybody who comes to watch, that they can join in. And everybody can either sit and do one on their own, or the fact that we can run a second one in the background means at least they can still do some teamwork. The fact that we're facing the same thing helps because everyone kind of knows the right Pokemon to use. So I feel like we're in a good place with doing it that way. Well, next time, like as we said, we're only going to do one more after this, and it will be we said we sort of have the team sort of set up so we can rotate. As we said, next run, Moorland's team will come back onto the stream team, and Boy from Belgium and Connor will go into Moorland's team. And as long as we both know this, like when we know for sure we've got the numbers that we have today, we can then make it a bit clearer. So even if it's not just me, if it's like Boy from Belgium being the other host, or ironically or somebody, we can then make it a bit clearer so everyone gets it and gets a chance. But this is where it gets difficult as the host. Like, as I say, you can be strict and say I'm taking just say for example, because I've known them the longest, I'm taking Moorland Boy from Belgium, and ironically that's my team. It's not fair on Connor, Ratchet and Dragon, who have come along to support us, and if there's a spot they could jump in. That's not fair on them either. As I say, I try to host this as if I was watching, and if I went into a stream and somebody said that they weren't going to let people join, I would be more likely to leave, if I'm honest, than if it's like, well, we're going to run this one and then we'll open the spots for the next people next run. So, did you get the bird? No. So as I say, I hope everybody is okay with those sort of ideas. Like, at the end of the day, I just want it to be a nice place where everybody can come and join and take part in Dynamax adventures as much as they can. I feel like everybody has been having a good time with them. Gravity, why do I want to use Gravity for? I thought you were going... But it's too late now. I've gone past Gravity. But let's see if we can get some shinies for the rest of the squads. Okay, well, we could try it the next round. But I think you're faster anyway, aren't you? I think we have a weaker team than it looks. I thought you were going to go for Scold again and hopefully get a ban. We'll go for Gravity then. Probably too late now. Have you finished your run then in the offline one as such? Oh, and did you get a shiny? Hopefully one of you got some more shinies, and then we'll find out that Moorland is the shiny charm luck. Ooh. I don't know if we're going to win this one, if we're honest. It's not looking good. I think I used it too late. Flawless run again. In fairness, we had a pretty terrible selection. We've got a weak ghost type, and the only dark move we found was on a normal type. So yeah, we didn't get good luck. Can you heal us please? That would be very nice. Because there is a good chance we may go a little bit longer tomorrow. Not today, but tomorrow. Because we're going to run one more back on Cresselia today. Oof. I don't know if we lost a life en route, but if we did, then we've lost. Okay, we're on the last life. And I'm a ghost. And hope for the best. Let's see how we do. I don't think the gravity's gone again, isn't it? So I'll just go for Scold now, because we can't really risk doing moves, I guess. You're definitely faster than me. And if you can get that burn, I can then use a stronger hex. Oh, what's that boost? Speed. Nice, we may get lucky here. We are probably about to fall into the ads between, so if Ratchet, ironically, and Dragon want to prepare for the normal code but just don't put it in, we'll be ready in a minute. Well, we lost. Oof. Ironically, did you claim the Spiritomb in the Dex 365? Just out of interest. Let's see. Nope. Nope. And nope. Well, we got 5 of them. That'll do. I don't think we need to save because we died. Right. Yeah, so as we said, it will be Ratchet, ironically, and Dragon in mine, and Moorland will have Boy from Belgium, Connor, and if anybody else is here, they would have to jump in that one for now. This will be the last one on stream, and then we will find somebody else who's doing DAs, maybe, to go and say hello to. Okay, no worries. Thank you for coming in today, Connor. Hopefully we'll see you get some good shinies for the Dex 365. Because it is fun. It is a bit chaos at the beginning when everyone's claiming everything, but once we get further in, we have a good time. And get angry at fossil Pokemon a lot. So we will let the ads run before we start this one, and then we'll move on. And I will start doing more lists tomorrow. I will have to just do full list like we mentioned. So at least they're not the longest of ads, I don't think. But I don't want to make everybody. No worries. Yeah, as I said, did you claim that in the Dex 365? Because that, as I said, will be a hell of a flex for your first claim. If I'm honest with you. I could just look myself, couldn't I, while I wait? As we think, like, I believe that Ratchet and Dragon are the good luck charms. They seem to bring the perfect runs together. Let's see. Did you claim it as your first redeem? Really? I guess I'll go Raichu so it can hurt the dark type. Beautiful. I don't really think there's too many good things early on here. Yeah, we have got pretty terrible stuff to pick from. Leech Life, definitely Sandslash. That's sticking around. But now you see just how smooth it is to do the redeems. There's not like any pressure to do loads. You do as you please. You can come and go. You could never do another one and they're not going to get angry with you. So I'm guessing we're just going to stick right. Stick left even. Stick left. Stick left. Because there is a dark type at the top corner. We've got what? I know we've got a little bit of a weakness to this, but we're just going to have to deal with it. Yeah, boy from Belgium, are you joining Moorland? I'd like to think you were. I think Connor's gone now. But I am going to have to sit down and get to a position where I can set up two people one person to host in the background like we had today, and it be a little bit smoother. As we said, it's been a little bit awkward with the swapping and the communication between the swapping, shall we say. But then I also got to remember the person that is hosting the other one isn't going to get any on stream, so it might be more of a, if I could get one person in early, they could become the host if we do a couple before everyone else arrives. But we'll work on it. That's what we're doing. We're improving on each stream. Again, this week has been the busiest we've done for any streaming since we've been doing it. So every day we are learning a little bit to improve ourselves for the next day and the next stream. I'm tempted to say I could take this, but I don't think it makes too much difference. We'll probably just leave this here, won't we? And we will see what the ground type was. We'll definitely take the ground type, but we've got two Pokemon that are good against ground, and a Raichu, who's just here for the numbers. Did you manage to start your raid, Moorland? But we'll try and take everyone to find someone else doing DAs after this as well. So if you do want to find more people who are hosting them. Oh, it's got a dark move though. Is it worth it? I think it might be. It might be worth the risk. I was thinking, because I've got light screen, but we want the grass and the water against. And I think that's it. Like, yeah, we're looking at how smooth this should be to be. Like, it's a Nido King, it's got coverage for everything, but we're gonna have grass and water against it. We should be okay-ish. And remember, if I do go into the final, Levitate won't work either. So that could be quite good. That's Nido Queen. That's got Shadow Ball as well. So would you swap Grovyle or Basculin for this? And risk 2 poisons in the final? It sounds like... okay. I know it is, but the moves they have are strong against it, and it doesn't hit too hard. Because Basculin's frail, Grovyle's a middle evolution, so it's not going to be that strong either. But Shadow Ball has defense drop. Max Darkness has defense, special defense drop, I think, or defense drop maybe. So they'll all be very helpful for stuff. So there is that can work in our favour. But ironically, what do you think? I know ironically runs these, been running them for how many years have you been running them for your shiny legendaries? But he goes through so many. So he's got all of the strats literally down to perfection. I'm just going to use one of my dark moves, what the hell. And like, we once went into a Zekrom with a Politoed. So you also have to remember, sometimes it's not terrible to have weaknesses against things. Are you the Basculin, I believe? Or are you Grovyle? So you're the Grovyle, so if you want to take this, you can, and then Basculin can take the... No, actually, part of me thinks the Basculin should take this, and the Grovyle take the last one, purely because of health. Because Basculin is... okay, it doesn't matter. Basculin can stick around for one more round then. Yeah, so Grovyle can take this if it wants to. Because even if you just spam Shadow Ball and get 2 defense drops, I think that will be helpful for the team. At least Basculin will have full health for the next battle. That's the positive thing. We didn't win the last one, did we? So we've only lost 1 so far today. We've lost 1 life here, and we've got a dark type next. I would imagine Sand Slash or Dynamax for the bug move. Actually, is it worth trying to burn? No, it doesn't matter, Cresselia, is it? Burn only affects physical attacks, doesn't it? If I'm not mistaken. I was going to think. Because, as we said, Levitate won't work in the final if I've got Wheezing. This is just a Sneasel. Because we know this is a frail boy. Yeah, well, that's not terrible, right? Yeah, you'll probably swap your Basculin for this. Yeah, I was thinking more burn. If I'm honest, because Scorching Sands has a very big chance of burning things, but I think it only takes its physical attack, not special attack down. That's what I was thinking more. In the final, am I focusing on weakening any particular stat on Cresselia in the final? Or am I looking at probably physical defense to weaken? That's gonna hurt. Okay, it's me, so that's alright. I should take that relatively well. Yeah, so Scorching Sands isn't the play in the final. We'll just spam Shadow Ball with Nidoqueen. And it's only a special attacker, so Charm's not very helpful either. And I'm hoping the big bug move knocks this out. Yeah, I meant Cresselia is special attacker, isn't it? That's more what I meant, because Charm only lowers its physical attack. I'm just going to do this because I don't want to miss Heat Wave with terrible accuracy. Why did it go for the Sand Slash? Bop. Okay, so we should be okay, because it will probably not want to use the fairy move on us, to be honest, just because two of us are poisoned. Okay, I'm hoping that's what Max Darkness does. I always forget. I'm going to be finishing up after this one, ironically, anyway, so I'll be taking people to hopefully find another Dynamaxer. Yeah, because Dragon's taking this, so if you can just spam Snarl in the final for us, that'll be perfect. Because you'll just take its special attack even further down. That's the dream one for that. I'm going to try and find someone else who's doing Dynamax. If not, we'll just go and see a friend of the channel. Because it will be just under 3 hours, which is still pretty good. Like, we've pretty much done 3 hours for a couple of weeks now on these DAs. And I'm thinking tomorrow might be slightly longer. Boy from Belgium, I think, is streaming a little bit later. Everybody is in the Discord, I believe, already, so I don't need to share it. So feel free to put any information about it in there. Ooh, it is special attack. This is special defense. Okay. And then people can jump in. As I say, it might be easier if you just use the code channel to arrange setting them up. Because at least you know you're only going to be seeing the people you know from the DAs. And then if you do a chat, the chat's there as well. And I'm going to try to take people to someone else doing Dynamax adventures. If not, I can't guarantee it, because when I looked before stream, not many people were on. Yeah, I think everybody is in there. Ratchet joined yesterday, and I know for a fact the rest of you are all in there. Who is doing these games too? Let's see. Italo. So, do we have anyone doing DAs? Sadly, we don't have anybody doing DAs at the moment. Unless Boy from Belgium goes online very quickly and does them today. That's a bit annoying. Who else is here? That's... We can go and troll some people if we want, but... A little bit frustrating, that's why we're so busy. We're the DA king today. everybody wants to join us. But I still want to do a little bit of work on a few things offline anyway, because I need to, where I said I'm sort of changing the overlay. It's not quite perfect yet. And I want it to be perfect. So I've got to work a tiny bit more on that. But I do like the changes I've managed to get put in, like the voices logo, follow goal, the social thing in the bottom corner. I like that. I think that's a nice touch. I like having... I'm not sure if I prefer the rotating shinies or all of them just dancing around the bottom. I'm sort of torn. I might just do one for legendaries and one for the random shinies and not have them all. We always do. Okay, well, that's not a problem. We'll just take you to another Pokemon player who has relaxing streams. I know someone else online at the moment who are not doing DAs, but they're playing Legends Arceus. So it's always fun to go and see them, and you can use the shiny charm noise to troll them. It's always funny. How is your run going, Moorland and Boy from Belgium, or have you finished? But as I said, if anyone else wants to continue doing DAs, jump into the Discord, and Moorland's going to be hosting them. Dragon has Cresselia as well, if you do want to carry on doing Cresselia, so you could get 2 teams running. As I've always said, the idea of my Discord is to try and bring as many people together who just want to enjoy playing the games. If they missed the streams but they're in there playing the games, having a good time, I'm happy. That's kind of what we want to do. And the more people we bring together, the better, I think. So that's our goal, really. I think we lost our second life, didn't we? Or was that 3? That's 3 lives down. Let's see if we can tank one more hit. Speed boost, please, Sandslash. So, hopefully that's going to be enough to let us survive one hit of something. It was always going to be a little bit more risky with 2 psychics in this, but we didn't really have a choice with the run of choices Pokemon we had. I think that's a loss, isn't it? But never mind. So as I said, if you want to carry on doing DAs, jump in the Discord, and there's a couple of people looking to host. We'll check these shinies. I'm pretty confident that's a no. That's a no. And that's a no, of course. But we will go and say hello to a friend of the channel. As I said, nobody's really doing DAs, so I can't really take you to someone else doing DAs. But they do sometimes do DAs, which is fine. Yes, let's double check before I commit. Let's go and say hello. So they're doing a shiny living dex in Legends Arceus. So if you want to go and join, they're quite a relaxed streamer. They do DAs at times. They're also part of the Dex 365 community, so you might find them doing some of that as well. So feel free to say hello, and otherwise I will see you tomorrow for some more DAs. And thank you everyone for joining, and I will set up a team selection thing next time.